Hi guys, welcome to the video. My name is Andy. I'm a hunter, photographer, long-range shooter, as well as a shooting instructor at Precision Hunter School. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the new MDT LSS Gen 3 chassis system. In my philosophy of shooting, this rifle is a tool for me and it needs to work for me. So it needs to be adjustable to my different needs. So I'm a shooting instructor, I'm teaching students at the same time, I'm also a hunter. So I focus mainly on stalk hunting and long range hunting. And ideally, I like to combine the both, which I can do very well with this kind of setup here. So let's go over the rifle build from back to front, and I'll explain you the different parts and why I chose them. Let's start. This is the SCS buttstock. It's fully adjustable. So what you can do here, if you, for example, are shooting prone, you guys who are shooting prone know the problem. The buttstock doesn't come up enough. It doesn't sit really in your shoulder pocket. You have a bad contact point. The bridge between your rifle and your shoulder, if it's not perfect, it will suck at long range hunting. What you can do here with one screw, slide it up. You have a much better shoulder contact here, which will give you more stability and through that a lot more precision. Going further, what you can also do here, you can adjust the length of the buttstock. This comes in very handy for different shooting scenarios. Not just prone shooting, where you have time to adjust it, but also in general at different weather conditions, like now in a t-shirt. Of course, I have a different length of pull than I would have with a big puffy down jacket, for example. The most important part about the buttstock for me though is the adjustment of the comp height. I can adjust it to the millimeter on the fly with this wheel here, to the exact height that I needed to get perfectly behind my optic. That helps me in stressful situations to get behind my optic much faster. If I'm behind the rifle and all I need to do is to bring my head down in the exact position, in the repeatable position behind the scope, I can very easily and very fast get behind the rifle and acquire my targets. When I started shooting as a hunter, I had a very simple rifle setup and I had no adjustable comp height. I always had issues with me getting behind the rifle and then finding the right eye adjustment. I was looking and I had no anchor point. With this buttstock, it's very easy. You get behind it, your head falls down, it's right in the position and you start working. Next piece is the MDT M-Lock thumb rest. I have two of these. One is here, one is in the front on the another M-Lock slot here, and I explain you why. For you precision guys out there, you already know what I'm talking about. Shooting, precision, either be long range hunting or long range shooting, PRS style. It's much more accurate usually if you put your thumb on the right side of the rifle. You have a fixed anchor point, and going on here, you see my hand, I get a perfect 90-degree trigger squeeze. Very repeatable, I have a perfect anchor point here for my right thumb. I also have it here on the left side of the rifle. I can't show you right now, but you're gonna see it in the footage. I use it mainly for tripod shooting. When I go on stalk hunts, I always take my tripod. I put it in the ARCA clamp, I'll get to that point in a second. And I can, with the two thumb rests here and there, it's like gas pedals, I can squeeze my rifle gently forward and back and find my perfect balance point to get out a good accurate shot at long distances. So, moving forward on the rifle, next part is the scope. This is a Vector Optics Continental 3-18 by 50 second focal plane. It sits in a spur mount. It's a 30mm diameter tube. And the reason I chose this scope, because I'm saying 3-18 is the perfect all-round magnification range. 3x gives me enough field of view in let's say more narrow conditions, and zooming into 18 power gives me the magnification I need for all those long range shots, and for hunting especially important. At 18x you have enough potential to clearly identify an animal or the target you're shooting at. I can shoot distances up to 600, 700, 800 meters with a 12x scope. The issue is, besides wide targets and a clear background, I can't really tell much. In real hunting scenarios, you need to be able to zoom in and identify what you're shooting at. If you don't know what you're shooting at, well, you can't shoot at it. That's why I think 3-18 is a perfect middle ground for most scenarios, be it on the tactical or on the hunting side of things. Okay guys, next part is a magazine. I left it out of the rifle, so YouTube is happy. Rifle is clear anyway. It's a Metal Mag 5-rounder for the 308 at least. Usually this thing works like a charm. I had it drop, I have no idea how many times. It looks apart, but it's been completely reliable. Some things that I really appreciate, especially in hunting situations. I also do have a couple 10 rounders, which is nice for training, but usually for hunting 5 rounds is more than enough. I don't like the extra bulk and weight of carrying 10 rounds. What I do though is I run a spare round holder. So I have 5 in the mags, and then I have 2 more rounds sitting up here in case I ever gonna need it. It's always a good security and some margin of error, for you never know what you're gonna encounter when you're hunting. Next part on the rifle is gonna be the forend. That's a tactical edition. Tactical because it has this like nice MV bridge where you can mount night vision devices for those guys in the US. In Europe we usually mount it just on the front rifle. However, it's a very nice middle ground between a hunting setup and a competition setup. With the ongoing M-LOK slots here, I do have some additional MDT M-LOK weights, so I'm able to push them on here or on there, and makes the rifle either heavier and or more balanced. Because wherever you put these additional weights, you can really perfect the rifle in a way it sits very well on either your tripod or your barricade bag, for example. Underneath the chassis, the forend, I run 2 ARCA rails. I use a 10-inch version for the front. It runs from here all the way to there, which gives me plenty space for either clip it into a tripod or to run the ground pod. I'll get back to that one later. I have another one that runs on the shorter side over here. It's a 3-inch version of the ARCA rail. Why did I put it here? Well, I want to make use of the customizable features of the chassis. I just need to unlock these like 1, 2, 3 on each side. So 6 screws here. I can completely take off the forend and attach a new one. And in the system I'm running it now, this ARCA rail, the 10-inch version, stays attached to the tactical forend. I can slide it off, put in a new one. I'm still able to use this one here, this 3-inch ARCA rail, to put it into a tripod. Next part of the equipment is the MDT ground pod. This thing has a direct ARCA attachment. I have 1 screw over here. I can loosen it up and slide it all over the length of the forend, which gives me a lot of versatility in the field. I usually prefer to run it up here because it gives me the most stable position. If I have the rifle stabilized here and over there, maybe with a handbag or even from my shoulder, I can get the most stable position out of it. Especially good for long range hunting. When you're lying in the prone, you want your bipod to be as far out as possible to get the maximum stability of the system. But again, it's hunting. You don't always get these ideal conditions. Very often they are far less than ideal actually. And then a system like that gives you versatility to move your bipod all the way back to either to here, to there, to there. Let's say you want to shoot from a tree stump, just slide it in, get behind the rifle, make yourself comfy, and then get your shot off. So, coming to the last piece of equipment, it's the silencer. This thing is an ATEC Optima 50, and the cool part about it, it has an integrated muzzle brake. So why do I prefer to have a silencer with an integrated muzzle brake? Well, it kind of does the same thing what a muzzle brake usually does. It reduces the recoil, but because it's a silencer, minus the concussive blast you really get from it. I really don't like that. Especially not when I'm hunting. I like to hunt without ear protection to get more of the environmental sounds, and then I'd be just so afraid to shoot with a muzzle brake. I mean, it will just kill your hearing. That and the overall setup of the rifle, again, highly adjustable, a little bit more on the heavy side, makes an ideal long-range hunting setup, which I currently use it for. For stalk hunting, I would say this configuration, yeah, it's doable. It's a little bit of a punishment. It's not my ideal setup. The MDT HNT26 behind me is a lot better for this kind of like stalking only. But when it comes to stability of like once you get into position, this thing is plain awesome. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the process. I hope you enjoyed the ride, got some useful information out of it. And in case you need more information on chassis systems, go check out MDT's website, mdt.com or CA. Go to Brownells Europe. And if you need more information on hunting and shooting classes, go visit my website on precisionhunterschool.com and find infos on long-range hunting, stalk hunting, precision shooting. Well guys, stay safe, have a good time out there hunting and on the range, and see you soon. Bye bye.